Hi everyone, I'm Allyn Root for Personal Liberty and PersonalLiberty.com. I've never been a community activist. I have no experience filling voter rolls with dead people. I have no experience intimidating politicians to award jobs to people because of the color of their skin. I have no experience shaking down bankers to give home loans to people with no collateral. And I've never been to a protest, let alone organized one. I've been too busy working my whole life. Can you imagine taking a person as inexperienced in the poverty shakedown business as me and making me the CEO of Acorn? Of course not. How utterly ridiculous. I'd cripple or wreck the organization in 3 years or less. I've also never been a firefighter. I have no idea how to put out a fire or rescue people trapped in a burning building. With no training, can you imagine me being named New York City Fire Chief? Can a man who's never worked as a firefighter or even been the guy who drives the fire truck become the fire chief of the biggest fire department in America? Of course not. How utterly ridiculous. I'd cripple or wreck the New York City Fire Department in 3 years or less. I've never been in the construction business. I've never poured a foundation, framed a wall, or put on a roof. I have no idea how to build a house, let alone a skyscraper. Can you imagine me being named construction manager to rebuild the World Trade Center? Good luck with that. No one would ever have to worry about terrorists again. My buildings would fall down on their own. I'd cripple or wreck the project in 3 years or less. I've also never been a soldier. With no military training of any kind, can you imagine naming me general or commander of special forces worldwide? Would you have liked me to oversee the secret mission to kill Osama bin Laden? Not a very good idea, huh? I'd certainly wreck that mission and cripple the entire Special Forces organization in 3 years or less. And here's one even President Obama should understand. I've never been in a union in my life. So should I take over as CEO of the biggest union in America? Would you think I'm qualified to run the Teamsters or SEIU? Why would I be so bad for these jobs? Because I have no relevant experience. How can you name someone with no relevant experience in the field as CEO? Ridiculous. Insanity squared. So can someone please explain to me why we elected Barack Obama to run the U.S. economy? Barack Obama was my college classmate at Columbia University, class of '83. He never took one economics class. And in the 29 years since we graduated, he never invested in a business, never managed a business, never started a business, nor served as CEO of anything. He never created a single job, never made a single payroll. Heck, the man who brought us Obamacare never paid for an employee's health insurance. He probably never even paid for his own. He never even ran a bodega or a taxi stand. Yet we made him the CEO of the world's greatest and largest economy. We might as well have handed him a scalpel and told him to perform open heart surgery. In the 3 years since Obama was named CEO of the U.S. economy, he's run this country the only way he knows how, like a community organizer. He's targeted, hunted, demonized, and punished business owners with a fervor and a passion never seen in the history of the White House. He's successfully frightened and intimidated the only people capable of creating real jobs, business owners. He's threatened taxpayers with massive tax increase after massive tax increase. He's stacked the National Labor Relations Board with union activists bent on destroying or damaging private industry. He's broken the rule of law, taken ownership away from the banks, investors, and shareholders that legally owned GM and Chrysler, and handed the companies to the very unions that bankrupted them in the first place. He's forced Obamacare through Congress by changing rules, thereby putting government in charge of 17% of the U.S. economy. More massive taxes that will kill more jobs. And then just for fun, he took over the student loan business too. While Cuba was busy cutting several million government employees because they're bankrupt, Obama was spending billions creating new government union jobs, saddling future generations, your kids, your grandkids, with massive pension obligations. While Cuba was ending food stamps, they call them food rations, Obama was adding record numbers to our own food stamp program. We now have 45 million on food stamps. Even Fidel Castro's got to be impressed. And in only 3 years, Obama has added an unimaginable $5 trillion in debt for your children and mine. For what? His stimulus added almost $1 trillion for shovel-ready jobs that never existed. Instead, he handed out bribes to green energy companies that never had a chance of survival, and to Democratic contributors like GE that managed to pay zero taxes on billions in profits while bringing all their jobs offshore. Instead of protesting about GE's greed, Obama appointed the CEO of GE the head of his council and economic advisors. Liberals under Bush used the word crony capitalism, but Obama is a whole new species. His life's work is devoted to socialism, expansion of government, and redistribution of income, yet he's also the most arrogant and blatant crony capitalist in history, passing out billions to his rich friends and Democratic contributors. Obama deserves a category all his own: crony socialist. In 3 short years, Obama has done to the U.S. economy exactly what I would have done as CEO of Acorn, fire chief of New York, general of U.S. Special Forces, or head of the Teamsters. Crippled them, bankrupted them, set them back decades. We put a community activist in charge of the greatest economy in the world, and he wrecked it. And you're surprised? I'm Allyn Root for Personal Liberty and PersonalLiberty.com. See you next week.